Greetings, it's Ian from RTO here. Welcome to live album ranking, which means we've got through to Friday yet again. And today we're going to have a look at Elton John's live albums. Now, we have looked through all his albums and his collaborations, so I thought it's best to have a look at his live albums. Now, he's released, there are unofficial and bootlegs, but there are only 5 official live albums, so we're going to have a look at them today. So, coming in at number 5, now this is from the year 2000, and it was recorded on the 20th and 21st of October the year 2000 at the Madison Square Gardens in New York, and it's called Elton John, One Night Only, The Greatest Hits. So joining Elton on stage here, we've got on guitars and vocals Davey Johnson, John Jorgensen on guitars, mandolins, pedal steel guitar and saxophones, vocals, Bob Birch on the bass, Guy Babylon on the keyboards, Nigel Olsson drums, Kurt Busquera drums as well, John Mannion percussion, Michael Healer percussion, Ken Stacey backing vocals and additional guitar, and Billy Trudel on backing vocals. So this is not, I don't think this is any running order, it's jumbled all over the place. So we open up with Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, great song, can't go wrong with that. Then we have his single Philadelphia Freedom, excellent track and very, very good live. Then we have Don't Go Breaking My Heart with Kiki D. Excellent track. Then we have a bit of Rocket Man from Honky Chateau. Great single as well. Crocodile Rock, another great single from the album Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player. Then we have Sacrifice, one of the newer songs as I call it, from Sleeping with the Past. Then we have his big hit from The Lion King, Can You Feel the Love Tonight. Then we go back to some classics. We go to Benny and the Jets from Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, which is always a fab song. Then he does Your Song with Rowan Keating on stage with him from the album Elton John. Sad Songs, a duo with Bryan Adams from the Breaking Hearts album. Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting with Anastasia. Not brilliant. That's from the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Not the best track on there. I'm Still Standing from Too Low for Zero. Love that track. Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me from the album Caribou. Then a real bad version of, guess what they call it to blues, with Mary J. Blige singing on it, and it's crap. I don't like her singing it, it's just horrible. Now this is one of those live albums that lots of fading in and out. I don't like that, never have. Songs are good, some of the guests were good, so I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 4, this is his first live album, and it is just called 17th of the 11th 70. Or in America, they call it 11/17/70. It was released in April of 1971. It was recorded in 1970 at the A&R recording studios in front of a live radio August on the WABC FM. Later that became WPLJ. So it's a very back to basics. You've got Nigel Olsson on drums, Dee Murray on bass, and Elton John on piano. Now, it opens up from the brilliant Take Me to a Pilot from Elton John. Lovely acoustic sort of version of that. It's a fantastic track anyway. Then he does, for some reason, Honky Tonk Women. Go to the 60 Elton John album for 60 years on. A great rendition of that. Now, this is a great track. Next, it's from the Friends soundtrack that he done. It's Can I Put You On. It's a brilliant song and it's brilliant live. Then we have Bad Side of the Moon, which was a B-side he released from the Border song. And then we have Burn Down the Mission and medley with all such parts of Elvis Presley's My Baby Lefty and Get Back. And of course, Burn Down the Mission is from the Tumbleweed Connection album. Love this basic album, drum, bass and a few pianos, some of them great early songs. I really enjoy this album. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 3. Now this was released in 2009, but it was actually recorded in Moscow in 1979, where he played a series of shows in Leningrad and Moscow, accompanied by percussionist Roy Cooper. They originally went out on Radio 1, and they were available on bootlegs, so they used it, and some of the footage was included in the documentary To Russia with Elton. So this came out on Record Store Day in 2019, and it includes 16 of the 27 songs from that show. So it's Elton John vocals, grand piano and electric piano, and then the second disc, Roy Cooper does the percussion. So this is a very solo sort of thing. Opens up with probably one of the best versions of Daniel I've ever heard. From Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Playing. It's a beautiful version of it. Skyline Pigeon from Empty Sky from that debut album. It's a fantastic song, and it's so good that he does this. Then we have a track from Take Me to the Pilot from Elton John, of course. A really lovely version of Rocket Man, simply done on a piano from Honky Tonk Chateau. Bit of Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me from Caribou. Then 2 great tracks from the Yellow Brick Road album, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and a fantastic version of Candle in the Wind. Then he does a version of Heard It Through the Grapevine. Now disc 2, this is where he is joined by Ray Cooper. So this opens up with A Funeral for a Friend, not the whole of it, the opening bit with the 2-3 minute opening, brilliant. And then he goes into Tonight from Blue Moose, which is another super track, done but stripped down. Then we have a track from the Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy, Better Off Dead, fantastic version of it. Benny and the Jets, can't go wrong with that, from Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Sorry to Seem It's the Hardest Word from the Blue Moves album, really good. And then we have this little medley, 2 little medleys here. We've got Saturday Night's Alright with a bit of Pimple Wizard, and then we have Crocodile Rock, a bit of Get Back in the USSR. This is just a fine album with Elton John, and then Ray Cooper joined him on percussion. I think this is a super little album. I really enjoy listening to this. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.2. Okay then, coming in at number 2. This is from 1987. It was recorded in Sydney with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra in 86, and it's live in Australia. So Elton John on piano, Davy Johnson on guitars, Mr. David Payton on bass guitar, Charlie Morgan's on the drums, Fred Mandel on keyboards, Ray Cooper percussion, Jody Lynn Scott percussion, Roll Deliveria on trumpet, Paul Spring on trumpet, Rick Taylor trombone, David Batelli tenor sax. Backing vocals are done by Alan Carville, Gordon Neville and Shirley Lewis. Orchestral conductor is James Newton Howard and the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. So this is really good. Opens up with a fantastic orchestral sort of type version of 60 Years On from Elton John. Lots of the old tracks on here as well. Staying with the Elton John album, we have got I Need You to Turn To, and The Great Discovery. Fantastic versions of them songs. Then we go to the Blue Moves for a bit of Tonight, and Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word. Back to the Elton John album for The King Must Die. Great version of that. Take Me to the Pilot from the same album. Then we go to The Madman Across the Water for a bit of Tiny Dancer. Brilliant stuff. Have Mercy on the Criminal from the Don't Shoot Me album. Back to The Madman Across the Water for the title track. A brilliant rendition of Candle in the Wind from the Brick Road album. To Burn Down the Mission from Tumbleweed Connection. Another super version. These are really good. Your Song, classic from Elton John. Don't Let the Sun Down on Me, which closes the album. What a great live album with an orchestra. Great versions of these songs. I like it that he's done a lot of the early stuff, and I love the early stuff, as you know. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.3. So the number one album for me. Now this has been released too. It was released in 1974 as a single album, and then the Rocket reissue in 1996, it became double. So I'm going to include all the tracks off this because you need them. It would have been number one even if it was a single album. So it's called It's Here and There, and it's two concerts, one done at the Royal Festival Hall in London and the other at Madison Square Gardens. The Festival Hall one was done in the summer of '74 and the Madison Square in November. So playing on here, we've got Elton John, Ray Cooper, Leslie Duncan does vocals on Love Song Only, Davy Johnson, John Lennon guests on here, Dee Murray on the bass, Nigel Olsson. So it's side one, well the London gig opens up a song from that debut album that gets forgotten about, and it's the brilliant Empty Sky. I love that track. Then we have Border Song from Elton John and Take Me to the Pilot. Two fantastic versions of those songs. Country Comfort from Tumbleweed and Love Song with Leslie Duncan. Probably the best versions of them songs. Love Song's just beautiful with Leslie Duncan. Bad Side of the Moon, the B-side from Border Song's on here as well, which is great. Burn Down the Mission, brilliant version. Honky Cat, I love that track, and it's a great live from Honky Chateau. Bit of Crocodile Rock from Don't Shoot Me. Candle in the Wind in Your Song. Saturday Night, All Right for Fighting. So then we move to the New York show. Opens up with the full Monty of Funeral for a Friend and Love Lies Bleeding. Fantastic. Absolutely top draw. Then we have Rocket Man from Honky Chateau. Great single, great song. Take Me to the Pilots on here. Brilliant. Benny and the Jets. Brilliant. Grey Seal from another of those great tracks off the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Another great version of Daniel. You're So Static from Caribou. Brilliant. Then we have some John Lennon stuff. We have, of course, from the Walls and Bridges album, Whatever Gets You Through the Night, which is excellent. Then Lucy in the Sky of the Diamonds, which was a huge hit. Then I Saw Her Standing There, which of course is off the debut Please Please Me. Then we have Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me from Caribou, wonderful version, and a great version of Your Song. And the album finishes with The Bitch Is Back from Caribou. What a great track to end this with. This is a fantastic live album. It was great when it first came out, when you listen to that, and then when the reissue came out, brilliant. Top draw songs, top draw performance from Elton, and having John Lennon on there is an added bonus, I suppose. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.5. So there we go. A little bit of Elton John. Can't beat live Elton John, I think, performance. Now, when he performed in Northampton, where I was living at the time, you could hear the think, because where it was at the county ground, and you can see the lights from one of the parks, and the wind was in the right direction, so you could hear the concert, and it sounded fantastic. Anyway, coming up next is a brand new album, and I probably think this is the last new album I'm going to review this year. And it's a new album from Opeth, Last Will and Testament. So I'm looking forward to that. So bye for now.